So many people think they have a Sigma personality just because they like being alone, avoid social media, or wear the lone wolf label like a passing trend. But let's be real. Avoiding people doesn't make you Sigma. Neither does being quiet, mysterious, or dressing in black. These are just superficial habits anyone can copy. True Sigma traits can't be faked. You either carry them in how you move through the world or you don't. They manifest in how you handle pressure, how you deal with fake energy, and what you don't say when everyone else is trying to get noticed. Most people overlook these traits because they're not loud, flashy, or obvious. But once you recognize them, you start seeing the difference everywhere. Let's break down 6 Sigma male traits that are impossible to fake, so you'll know exactly who's real and who's just wearing the costume. Number 1, quiet, but impossible to ignore. In every room, there's a guy who doesn't say much, yet everyone somehow senses his presence. He's not the loudest talker or the one trying to be the center of attention. He's just there, yet people notice him. This is one of the most revealing Sigma traits, and it can't be practiced in front of a mirror. True Sigma men have a natural gravity that draws attention their way even when saying nothing at all. It shows in how they stand, how they observe, and the calm confidence they carry effortlessly. They're not trying to be mysterious. They're just comfortable in their own skin. What makes this impossible to fake is that it comes from within. Those who try to copy it end up seeming awkward, uncomfortable, or like they're trying too hard to appear deep. They mistake silence for being interesting, when it's actually the quiet confidence that attracts others. The difference is easy to spot. The fake, strong, silent type constantly checks if people notice his silence, while a real Sigma doesn't care either way. He's perfectly fine being overlooked or noticed. It doesn't change who he is. When everyone's talking over each other in a meeting, he waits. Then, when he finally speaks, the room falls silent. Not because he's louder or more aggressive, but because there's weight behind his words. This presence can't be bought, learned, or imitated. It comes from years of being comfortable with yourself, thinking for yourself, and not needing constant validation. The strange contradiction is that by not seeking attention, they become impossible to ignore. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wisely said, "Who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying." Number 2, trusting your gut over popularity. Remember being a kid and knowing that something was wrong, but everyone else was doing it anyway? That uncomfortable feeling in your stomach while the crowd moved in another direction? Most people learn to ignore that instinct. They suppress it and follow the group. But some never lose that internal compass. When something doesn't feel right, they pay attention, even when everyone else agrees. That's the mark of a genuine Sigma trait that can't be faked. When the latest trend sweeps through the office, neighborhood, or entire culture, with everyone talking about it excitedly, there he is, watching, considering, taking his time while others rush to join in. Not to stand out or be different, but because there's a quiet instinct telling him to wait. While many think Sigma males are stubborn or contrary by nature, the truth goes deeper. It's not about opposing the mainstream for its own sake, but having an unbreakable connection to your inner voice. When the crowd surges right, you don't automatically turn left. You pause and ask, which direction actually makes sense to me? This trait stands out when things get serious. The investment opportunity friends are pouring money into that feels off. The charismatic leader everyone admires who sets off alarm bells. The relationship everyone says is perfect for you that somehow doesn't sit right. Following your instincts isn't always comfortable. It can mean standing alone when it would be easier to join in, being called difficult when you're just being cautious. But for a Sigma, betraying his inner knowing would be far more painful than any temporary isolation. Number 3. Seeing too much without saying a word. There's a certain type of person who seems to read the room before even entering. While others stay in surface-level conversation, they notice the tension in someone's smile, the nervousness in a laugh, the power dynamic silently playing out in every interaction. This acute awareness isn't something the true Sigma displays. He doesn't announce his observations or try to prove how perceptive he is, but his eyes miss very little. When drama unfolds, he's rarely surprised. When someone reveals their true colors, he just nods as if confirming what he already knew. While others are shocked by sudden developments, he seems to have seen it coming all along. This silent perception comes from something deeper than just being observant. It's about truly paying attention in a world where most people are just waiting for their turn to speak. While others plan what to say next, he actually listens, watches, absorbs everything around him. The fake Sigma tries to create this impression by being mysterious or making vague statements. But the real one doesn't need to try. He sees what others miss, and that's where his insight comes from. This creates an almost uncanny feeling around him. People often sense he knows more than he's saying, and they're right. He sees the masks people wear, the games they play, the truths they hide, even when he chooses not to comment on them. In a world full of noise and performance, nothing is more powerful than someone who sees through it all with quiet clarity. As philosopher Lao Tzu said, "Those who know don't speak. Those who speak don't know." True power lies not in showing what you see, but in seeing what others show. Number 4. Unmoved by status, driven by truth. The room falls silent when the boss enters. Postures straighten, laughs get louder, opinions change mid-sentence. Watch closely. It's like seeing masks slide into place. Then there's that one person, unchanged, unmoved, speaking exactly as before. Not from disrespect or rebellion, but from something far more powerful. An unshakable core that doesn't bend for status. This is where pretenders fail. They can play the lone wolf, but place them near power and watch how quickly they transform. The authentic Sigma carries the same energy whether talking to the CEO or yesterday's intern. The world is a stage of performances. People carefully calculating what to say, how to act, who to impress. It's exhausting to watch. But in this theater of social climbing, the genuine Sigma moves differently. He evaluates ideas on merit, not who delivers them. He forms opinions based on truth, not popularity. You'll see it in small moments. When everyone nods along with a bad idea from someone important, he's the one who quietly questions it. When the crowd rushes toward whatever's trending, he stands back, watching, assessing, not to be contrary, but because his internal compass points toward truth, not applause. This isn't something learned from YouTube videos about how to be Sigma. It forms over years of choosing substance over show, valuing what's real over what's rewarded, where most would rather be accepted than right. The man who chooses truth over status walks a harder path, but it's the only one he can live with. Number 5, confidence that doesn't need an audience. Why do those who have the most to show often show the least? That guy who never mentions his accomplishments until someone else brings them up. The friend who's surprisingly good at something but never brags. The colleague who solved a major problem but didn't rush to take credit. This is where real confidence lies, not in shouting, but in silence. Most people today treat their lives like performances. Every achievement needs witnesses. Every win demands an audience. If no one sees it, it almost doesn't count. Their self-worth becomes tied to others' reactions. Then there's the Sigma approach. These men find satisfaction in the work itself, the quiet pride of doing something well, the personal fulfillment of reaching self-set goals, the inner knowledge they're improving whether anyone notices or not. You see it in how they handle both success and failure. When things go well, they don't need to broadcast it. When they mess up, they don't hide it. Their value doesn't depend on others' opinions, so they don't need to constantly manage those opinions. This solid self-trust comes from beyond ego. It's built through keeping promises to yourself, doing what you said you'd do, even when no one's watching. It's the quiet knowledge that you can rely on yourself. The strangest part? This confidence actually draws people in more than showing off ever could. As writer Nathaniel Branden put it, confidence isn't, they'll like me. Confidence is, I'll be fine if they don't. Number 6, feeling more drained by shallow company than by solitude. Have you ever spent time with people and somehow felt more tired afterward than if you'd been alone? That peculiar exhaustion that comes not from talking too much, but from conversations going nowhere? It's a feeling Sigma males know all too well. Most people fear solitude. They'll fill their calendars with any social event, accept any invitation, stay in empty relationships just to avoid being with themselves. To them, a weekend alone seems worse than time with people they barely connect with. For the real Sigma, the equation is completely reversed. 2 hours of small talk leaves him more exhausted than a marathon, while a full day alone working on something meaningful energizes rather than depletes him. Imagine a dinner party where everyone's discussing TV shows, celebrity gossip, and recent purchases. Smiling faces, flowing laughter, but underneath runs a current of emptiness. Nothing real is being exchanged. No one's truly connecting. For most, this is normal socializing. For a Sigma, it's an energy vampire. This trait isn't about being antisocial or thinking you're better. It's about craving depth in a world that often stays shallow. When conversation moves beyond surface level, when people share real thoughts, discuss meaningful ideas, or show their authentic selves, suddenly the Sigma comes alive, fully engaged. This can't be faked because it's not a preference, but a genuine response. A true Sigma doesn't avoid shallow social events to make a point or seem different. He avoids them because they literally drain him while adding nothing back. If this resonated with you, stick around. Stay grounded and stay real.